Now, a US court has won a default judgment that Iranian officials, including its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, provided help to the 9/11 hijackers behind the worst terror attack on American soil. What do you make of this case? Do you believe Iran aided the 9/11 attacks?
This is bullshit.
There's a new documentary out that says that Osama bin Laden is living in Tehran. Is Osama bin Laden in Tehran?
Your question is laughable.
Why?
The U.S. government has invaded Afghanistan in order to arrest bin Laden. They probably know where bin Laden is. If they don't know where bin Laden is, why did they invade? First, they invaded. Then they tried to find out where he is. Is that logical? Do you think this is logical?
What I think is that you didn't answer my question. Is he in Tehran or not?
Our position is quite clear. Some journalists have said bin Laden is in Iran. These words don't have legal value. Our position towards Afghanistan and against terrorism is quite clear.
Is it true or not?
Maybe you know, but I don't know.
I'm asking you, you're the president of Iran.
I don't know such a thing. You are giving news which is very strange.
So let me ask it a different way. If you did know that Osama bin Laden was in Tehran, would you show him hospitality? Would you expel him? Would you arrest him?
I heard that Osama bin Laden is in Washington, D.C.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. He's there because he was a previous partner of Mr. Bush. They were colleagues, in fact, in the old days. You know that. They worked together. Mr. bin Laden never cooperated with Iran, but he cooperated with Mr. Bush.
I'll ask one more time.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Iranian forces have shot down an American unmanned drone in the east of the country. That's according to Iran's state news agency. The aircraft used for spying was reportedly downed with minimum damage and seized by Iranian authorities. Stephen, clearly a lot of pressure on Iran at the moment. We know, that, of course, that this drone was unarmed. It didn't carry any weapons. But there's a lot of talk that a strike on Iran is possible. Could this just be the start of the build-up to that?
Well, they want to get all the information they can get. Spying, of course, is to get intelligence preparatory to doing whatever it is that you may have in mind. Indeed, what's key, Bill, is America has had for some years, especially since the Bush years, what they call a Greater Middle East Project. The project is total dominance over the region, North Africa, the Middle East, Central Asia, to Russia's borders. Russia, of course, is being surrounded with U.S. military bases, China as well. This is part of America's game. They're trying to eliminate countries that are not in America's orbit. So there was a war on Libya. Syria is being targeted. The Libya model is being replicated in Syria, so far short of NATO bombing. If Syria is de-linked from Iran, Iran is next.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!
Iran is next.
You can't handle the truth!
Iran is next.
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know.
He's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be. But there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we're going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to invade Iraq, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we can go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later 9/11 happened, and I remember he was telling me how you're going to see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places, and there's going to be this war on terror, of which there's no real enemy, and the whole thing is a giant hoax, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh yeah, there's no question. He says, there's honest, we weren't terrorists. He's laughing. Who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11 who were able to can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people and to subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do.
What do you make of this case? Do you believe Iran aided the 9/11 attacks?
I heard that Osama bin Laden is in Washington, D.C.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. He's there because he was a previous partner of Mr. Bush. They were colleagues, in fact, in the old days. You know that. They worked together. Mr. bin Laden never cooperated with Iran, but he cooperated with Mr. Bush.
I'll ask one more time.
You sponsored Al-Qaeda, sir. You are a criminal. You sponsored Al-Qaeda. In 1979, you gave him money. That's true. You're a CFR scum. You are CFR New World Order scum. You and David Rockefeller will never have a New World Order.
Blame it on Muslims, naturally.